Yo, what's up, everybody? Good morning. 10 o'clock in the morning. Greetings from Istanbul, Turkey. Here's Ellie saying hi like every morning. Dog's gone wild. Ellie, take off your shirt for everybody. Ellie, take off your shirt. Dog's gone wild. Dog's gone wild. Yeah. So this is Ellie. She's my 7th-month-old toy poodle that looks literally like a toy. She's really, really cute. She's about 3.5, 4 kilograms. Günaydın Erman. Nasılsınız? So Ellie's just saying hi. She was named after Elliott Wave Analysis. She's the female version of Elliott for Elliott Wave Analysis. The way she does analysis is there's actually no such thing as 5 waves. She only does Ellie wave analysis using 3 waves. She only trades corrections, ABCs, because she's stupid. So anyways, good morning, everybody. Ellie, yeah, you're the best dog ever. Look how good she is. Okay, say bye to everybody, Ellie. Bye. Okay, let's start our stream now, guys. I'm going to start off my day always by showing you. Teşekkür ederim, Erman. Thank you very much. Good morning from the UK. I miss going to the UK. I've been there 3 times. And every time I go there... Oh, sorry, my microphone's down. Every time I go there, I have a really good time. The first time I went to London was in 2018. And I tweeted where I was. And about 15 followers showed up to this restaurant that I was at. And this was for lunch. So 15 people show up. And of course, surely enough, everyone buys me a shot. So by 2 in the afternoon, somebody had to carry me to my hotel. It was a pretty wild day, and I was hungover for the next 2 days because I had a little bit too much tequila that day. So greetings, guys, greetings. Thank you very much for joining me. So before we start, make sure that you hit the like, just for the algorithm. I want to be more visible. Hit the subscribe button, and especially hit the notification button as well to see when I stream every single day between 10 in the morning and 11 in the morning, Istanbul, Turkey time. Yes, it is username. It is live. Okay, so let's get into this right now. So right now, I want to start off by showing you guys some facts, okay? So one really interesting fact about Bitcoin right now is that we've reached an all-time high. This is at lookintobitcoin.com. We've reached an all-time high of how many people actually hold more than 1 Bitcoin in their wallet, okay? That's very substantial, which gives you a semi-bullish sentiment, right? People are buying the dip. I mean, when you're at $70,000, $80,000, like when you're at $70,000, it was really difficult for people to get 1 Bitcoin. But now that it's fallen to the $20,000 ranges, people have that goal in mind of, I want to get 1 Bitcoin. I want to hold it for a long time. And it's something you should be very proud of because not even 900,000 people in the world have 1 Bitcoin. So if you're one of the people that's holding 1 Bitcoin or even 0.1 Bitcoin, obviously there's a lot more people holding 0.1 Bitcoins than 1 Bitcoin. You should be very proud of yourself for being in the game as well. The way that I see holding Bitcoin is that every time I put $100 into this piggy bank of mine, I have a $100,000 goal in mind. I put $100 in it, which is equal to 20K. If it gets to 100K, that $100 literally turns into $500. That's how I see Bitcoin. And I have no doubt in my mind that because Bitcoin is a store value, it's going to appreciate in time. It's not going to inflate. The supply is going to get much lower. People are going to have lost Bitcoin wallets, right? People are going to forget about their wallets. They're going to forget about their seed phrases. They're going to forget about their passwords, and they won't be able to log into exchanges. So the scarcity of Bitcoin is actually going up. And right now, I forgot what her name is. She's trying to pass a bill for the first time. It's actually one of the biggest news in crypto right now. She's trying to get a bill reviewed by 4 different committees. If that bill is passed, it'll then be voted on with the Senate. And then if that's passed through the Senate, well, then President Biden will actually sign off on it. And for the first time, crypto could be regulated. It might not happen this year, most likely not, but next year, early next year, because there's the midterms right now, right? So that's gonna most likely end up getting passed. And what they're gonna focus on is more like classifying what cryptocurrency is. There's gonna be more regulation for it, and most importantly, stable coins are going to be regulated. One of my favorite persons said, Kevin O'Reilly, right? What he said was that, oh, sorry, Kevin O'Reilly. Kevin O'Leary. What he said was that once Bitcoin's USDT or whatever tether it is, whichever stable coin gets regulated, eventually gigantic investors are going to hop on because of this regulation. You're going to see trillions of dollars pouring into the crypto market overnight once regulation ends up coming in. So that's why a lot of people as well are racking up this one Bitcoin. In 2017, right? In 2017, the number of people that held Bitcoin up until December was insane. 700,000 people bought Bitcoin, and it only dipped a little bit, right? Because it was finally introduced to mainstream media, a lot of people ended up buying at the top when Bitcoin was like $20,000, and they held it. They barely sold it off in 2018. In fact, it surpassed it heavily, right, in August 28, 2018, before the big bull run that began on December the 17th in 2018. So people are absolutely buying crypto right now. Let me give you guys another really awesome metric, okay? So this is at bitinfocharts.com. Then they can list the top 100 wallets, okay? So I took the first top 15 wallets, and I just kind of randomly chose a few different ones. So this will give you the biggest private wallets in Bitcoin, and they hold billions of dollars. We're talking like $2-3 billion. So here's one guy that ended up buying on June the 25th, June the 23rd, June the 23rd, June 18, all the way down to when Bitcoin was, June the 17th, June the 8th. He was even buying when the Bitcoin was $31,000. He bought $10 million roughly when it was 30,000. He bought another 10 million, another 10 million, another 5, another 6, another 5, another 11, another 5. So this whale is buying Bitcoin between $20,000 to $30,000. He doesn't care if it gets to 15,000. He's bullish on it long term, as you should be as well. If you're bullish on this long term, you're going to have a massive potential to make some massive capital in a few years, in my opinion. It may not happen this year. It may not happen next year. It might not happen the year after. But at least you're in the game. And when you compare it as an investment, Bitcoin compared to other commodities, oil, gold, whatever, S&P 500, any blue chip stock, Amazon, Facebook, crypto has outperformed all of them by many factors. So another wallet that I'll show you is this guy here on June the 13th, when Bitcoin was at $23,000, he bought $203 million of Bitcoin. You heard me right. $203 million in Bitcoin. And the funny fact is that when Bitcoin was at $46,000, he bought 43,000 Bitcoins. He bought $2 billion of Bitcoin. Literally, these are private wallets, keep in mind. 43,000 Bitcoins, right? So his average price must be something ridiculous. This guy's holding $2.6 billion of Bitcoins right now, and he's holding 125,000 Bitcoins. And this wallet was first introduced on June the 17th, just 3 years ago. Insane, right? So profit from price change, he's minus $3 billion. But if this ends up going to 100K, he's not going to care that much. So here's another wallet, okay? This wallet's holding $2.1 billion. And he's been buying as well. Bought 101,000 Bitcoins. And he bought it at $19,000. So this guy's really up right now a significant amount, okay? So he bought one, even if it's a small few percentages up, that's still 5% up on $2 billion. That's insane from buying a dip. I don't think I'll ever have that much money in my life. Probably the whole group on my Twitter followers, we probably wouldn't have that much either. It's a substantial amount of money, $1.9 billion that he bought. So I'm just showing you guys some metrics right now with Bitcoin wallets that's showing that long term we're fairly bullish right now. Okay, so let's get to Bitcoin's. Yeah, you're welcome, JC. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. I'm trying to mix things up a little bit of fundamental news here, there, some really good facts. I don't want to be a perma bull, so I want to make sure I give you guys the information how it is. So Bitcoin yesterday, okay, it ended up breaking above this high. I originally thought this resistance would be kind of the main resistance, which it is, right? If you take a look on the daily, everything above there is pretty much bull trapped regions. So in my opinion, the true resistance is like 21,500, right? And everything above it right here, these are all bull trapped regions. I really thought it was going to go up yesterday. Let me give you a really good example of why I thought it was going to go up, okay? So first of all, we get this histogram, right? That histogram looks like it's done. We get a bull trap, right? Or we get a bear trap rather. Histogram and MACD crosses over down, but it recovers really quickly. Not only does it recover, but it goes upwards. Let me bar replay to show you why I thought it was going to break out. And things like this can happen all the time. So this bar replay, it shows you, actually, let's go back even further right here. So we thought that this was going to come down, right? Just watch. Looks like it's going down. It crossed over. It certainly looked like it was going down, right? Absolutely. But the 3 hour finishes off with a slight doji candle. And look what happens after, okay? So we get a wick there. And then this one, it pokes back out. So we thought to ourselves, and especially me, that the bear trap happened, the histogram peaks back up, and this is the better part. This one gives you a pretty good candle as well, okay? But of course, we end up crossing over back upwards, right? Take a look. So it came down for the first half of the candle, but the last half, it started to show these jaws. Whenever these jaws happen, it starts to diverge from each other, which shows that there could be a potential to rally hard, right? And it's still going. See, the next candle, it's still going, right? But this one gets lower. Oh, sorry. I thought it was, I keep forgetting it's the first half. The jaws get even bigger. Look at that divergence, right? It gets even bigger. It's separating from each other. So how could you not believe that a rally was going to happen, right? Look, it looks like a breakout 100% is going to happen. But unfortunately, the next candle ended up capitulating like that. The histogram ends up bull trapping many people, and then they get closed, right? And then they get trapped up there. This is the candle that should have said to you, I probably shouldn't long it, and it's good for me to take my loss here. And then, of course, the MACD crosses over back down, and we get a fairly bearish candle. Okay, so unfortunately, that didn't quite pan out. Not only that, there was a channel, in my opinion, that was forming fairly decently that ended up breaking to the downside, right? Something just like that. Sloppy, but nevertheless, a few support points, if you can even call it one. And then that was since yesterday around 6 p.m. And now we're many hours past that since already, okay? So maybe 12K, let's wait and see. That's true, we might get to 12K. Heck, we might get to 3K. But if we do get to these lower numbers, I can assure you that people like me, I'm not a whale by any means, guys, compared to people out there, you know? There's many people that hold hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin and they've done nothing. You know, they're just holding it still for a long time. If it gets to 3K, I would be very excited because you now have an opportunity to buy Bitcoin literally 95% cheaper than the all-time high. So if it got to 3K, if it got to 12K, I would be very happy. So this is the public portfolio that I have right now, okay? And I gave you guys an example. Right now, I've got one Bitcoin with an average price of 2733, okay? If Bitcoin goes to 15,000, I'll buy another Bitcoin, okay? If Bitcoin gets to 10,000, let's say, I'll buy 2 more Bitcoins for the public portfolio. And I'll be adding to my main one as well, okay? So then my average price would be 13,933, and I'd have 4 Bitcoins. So if my average price is 13,933, and I have, say, 4 Bitcoins in the public portfolio, and Bitcoin reaches the all-time high, who's going to be laughing, right? I'm going to have a 400% return. My initial investment would only be 55K, and my P&L would be $224,000. So the power of dollar cost averaging is immense. You have to stay in the game. You can't be shaken out of the game. This is a game where you've got to really hold strong to your positions and understand and believe in the fundamental long term. This is not something that will make you rich overnight, right? And the last thing you want to do is go in and out of positions too often because you can't handle the volatile markets. These markets are going to move an extreme amount, and staying in the game is extremely important, okay? Just because it's dipping 10%, 20%, 30%, it doesn't mean you should sell your Bitcoin right now, in my opinion. And this is not financial advice. It's just saying that we are much closer right now to the bottom than we are close to the top, right? So the top was 70K. I'm sure a lot of people longed there. But because we're at the 2017 all-time high of December 17th, around 19.8K, there's a much greater chance that we're near a bottom than we are at a top. And regardless of what happens to Bitcoin, I personally don't care too much in the short run. I'm looking at the long-term picture, and we've got to understand that Bitcoin is going to make waves. Even if it does drop to 12K, I really wouldn't worry about it. In fact, I would be buying more, in my opinion. In fact, many people are doing the exact same things like I've shown you, that more people right now are holding one Bitcoin than ever before. The big whales are buying these massive dumps between 20K to 25 to even 30K. They're buying billions of dollars. And if the whales are buying it, and if Bitcoin wallets are increasing by the day to hold greater than one Bitcoin, then doesn't that mean something to you? It should mean something to you. It may not mean exactly that. That's right. Liquidity crisis is all across the board right now as well, that JC mentioned. I forgot to mention that. Thanks for bringing it up. Right now, Binance and pretty much every single exchange, Bitfinex, Poloniex, they're having a liquidity crisis right now. The amount of Bitcoins on exchanges right now has reached the all-time high of December 2017. Okay? That's when we had Bitcoin go from $700 to $20,000 that year, or 19.8, and everybody bought. And they literally ran out of Bitcoins almost. We have to remember that Bitcoin is a finite amount, right? There's not an infinite amount of it that you could just buy and buy and buy. As liquidity runs out, and if demand goes up and supply is going down, then you can only expect the price of Bitcoin to skyrocket. And right now, Bitfinex, their liquidity is the equivalent of exchanges from 2017's all-time high right now. So that's another major factor. Well done, JC, for bringing that up. So let's take a look at, did you look at the week BTC volume yesterday? You know what? Volume is it's not always going to increase in strength when it comes to volume, right? It could poke out right here. It can easily poke out right here, and then the volume happens on the next candle. So volume, yes, for accumulation, it's pretty important. Yes, for breakouts, it's really important as well, but it's not the only metric that I personally use to look for breakouts, because sometimes they can be so misleading, and sometimes it just takes literally one big whale to set the market on fire in terms of just rallying hard. So if we take a look at the weekly right now, the weekly closed with a pretty decent candle, right? I would have loved this wick to have been down here, of course. If there was a wick going down like that, it'd be done for the bears. They'd be done. This kind of candle would be just the most beautiful candle that you can see on a weekly. But the good news is we actually saw it on the 4-day, right? We saw this on a 4-day, and volume is declining over the days because people just are figuring it out. They're still scared of getting into the market. So people are going to slowly accumulate. Once there's more confirmation, I think if regulation goes through early next year, it's going to be some major news for crypto industry in general, and the rally and the bull market could easily happen by then. So right now, as it stands, Bitcoin tried to break that resistance, failed it. So now it's just a matter of waiting and waiting to see what's going to happen nextwards, right? Some people would even argue there's a trend line that formed like that, where you factor in some wicks. But these can be so arbitrary, right? So I wouldn't really be factoring in this too much, that some people have brought out. I do see the daily MACD going upwards, right? Like I demonstrated yesterday, when these MACDs cross, for example, on Matic, we saw what Matic did. It did 95%. On DOT does 35%. On basically every coin where the MACDs are crossing, there's some rally, right? Those ones are more of the slower coins, but if you look at AVAX from the MACD crossover, it is 61%. SOL's crossover from down here, ended up doing 62%. So is Bitcoin going to have a very similar effect? We saw LPT go up quite a bit as well, 74%. ARPA, MACD crossover, ended up doing 76%. And ARPA is on fire today, it seems already. So that's my news for Bitcoin. To summarize, Bitcoin tried to break out right now, and we've just got to wait and see what happens. Set your alerts, guys. Set your alerts and ladies to greater than. Every time, check your volume as well. And then right after this, we're going to look for some day trading opportunities. See if we can trade and find something. So set your alert to know if it's going to go greater than here. Set your alert to know if it's going to go lower than the previous low for the day. You want to always be aware of what Bitcoin's doing, because Bitcoin's movement will always will always affect every other coin in the market today and every other day. So let's take a look at the market, starting at CryptoLoom. So CryptoLoom is a scanning tool that I use. There's a fee for it. I think it's $50 a month to use. They don't pay me for this. This is not a paid advertisement. I'm choosing to use it on my own free will. Okay, so you want to sort Bitcoin by low RSI and high RSI. And there's nothing extremely abnormal that's overbought or oversold. One is a little bit oversold right now, but it's not really telling us too much. You want to look for signs where these columns, these are percentage movements. For dollar percentage movements, these are volume percentage changes. So when you see a coin light up green, where everything is green across the board, it means that the 5-minute volume is increasing and the percentage movements is moving. If it goes to the 15-minute chart, it means that over 15 minutes, these coins have been moving tremendously. If you see it green up to the 4 hours, it means that from 4 hours ago, it's still cascading over to the higher time frames. So if they're bullish to higher time frames, then you can imagine that they're gonna be rallying in some way where you can catch an opportunity. So look for ones that light up green across the board. Okay, I'll get to questions and answers, but Kana, this is not going to be a channel where I'm going to be advising on what to do in terms of longs or shorts. I'll just give my general analysis on that particular coin. But if you want to short it, man, it's up to you. Your decision, your money, your choices, your responsibility, right? Your risk. So you've got to be the one that makes your own decisions in the market. Anytime people trade, you shouldn't even let anybody else affect your bias. You might want to listen to what they have to say, but ultimately, it's going to come down to the decisions that you make. If you get filthy rich in crypto, it's not because of someone else. It's because you're the one that decided to make the investment. You're the one that decided to make the choice to pursue something. If you lose money and you listen to somebody else, it's not their fault for being wrong. It's your fault for not doing your own research and your fault for not being responsible and making your own choices. You got to be responsible and accountable for your own decisions to really get ahead of this game. That's why, in my opinion, shill groups, or not shill groups, buy and sell signals, they're very stupid in my opinion. Okay, you're not benefiting from that at all. To be very rich in this game in crypto, you've got to put in the effort to learn yourself so you can become a self-sufficient trader or investor. Nobody's going to get you rich in life, right? You're going to have to do it yourself and learn. That's my opinion. Buy signals and sell signals, they fail. They fail 90% of the time because those guys, honestly, they're just selling you a subscription or they're getting in earlier before you. And then you're just dumping to them, basically. You're just helping them move their shit coins. And you want to follow people that actually know how to trade, that's trying to teach you, that's trying to equip you with certain skills. That's the most important, okay? You don't want to follow somebody that gives signals. You will never make it as a trader following signals in any single way. So with CryptoLoom, I got to refresh it here. So there's not really anything indicating on CryptoLoom right now. The volume, look at the volume, it's so crappy. Nothing even moved up more than 50% in volume. Nothing moved down either. Nothing moved. Whoa, is it really that bad of a day? Wow, nothing moved up except for ARPA, 4.5%. Everything is on the red right now. That's crazy. It's really slow. Nothing moved up 4% in the past 2 hours, or 2% in the last 2 hours. Nothing moved down either. So Bitcoin has literally, if you think about it, it's only moved down a pretty small percentage, right? And since the daily close, which is about 7 hours ago, Bitcoin only moved 2%. So you can't really expect the market to be doing anything much right now, right? If you take a look at Discord as well, or sorry, TradingView, sort it by up, sort it by down, okay? Sort it by up. Ellie? Oh, she's going crazy. That really scared the crap out of me because I don't hear her howl like that before. So here, I completely lost my train of thought. So sorted by up, sorted by down, you don't see anything moving except for ARPA right now. So literally ARPA is probably going to be the only one on my watch list today. All the other guys, like XRP had its rally already. Have you noticed? It definitely had its rally, but it might do something. Like, you just don't know, right? It's sort of forming kind of this right here. At a higher time frame, it's going to look good probably. Actually, I'd probably say this is the resistance. Notice how beautiful it looks on the 4 hour, where you just see the bodies. Okay, you just see the bodies open and closes. So you can see kind of XRP making a possible descending triangle. Let's just put an alert here, because that'll be really interesting if it pops up. I'm going to put an alert here just to be notified of that. That's a really interesting setup. Wi-Fi is pretty done in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be moving anytime soon. No, storage is pretty boring too. I think this was the 5th wave. It probably truncated somehow. I don't think storage is going to be doing anything anytime soon. If it does, I'll probably miss it. Okay? And I don't care if I miss it. I'll let it break out, and then I'll do something when it breaks out. But I'm not going to spend my time waiting for breakouts to occur. So think about how breakouts work, right? You might need to enter a position for a long period of time to wait for something to happen. That may never happen, right? That's why I'd rather let something happen first, and then you can catch the next wave, or you can catch the short position. But waiting for a breakout, let's just say you bought long here, and hell, it doesn't even break out. It ends up consolidating for the next 5 days, and you're just holding your position. In my opinion, waiting to accumulate for a breakout, like after a large rally, it's gonna take forever. I'd rather take the coins that have already moved and then catch the next dip. Unless it's on a major time frame, like a huge time frame like Bitcoin, for example, right now, right? That's really different. So as it stands right now, there's not many coins that have been moving based off of volatility for volume and percentage movements. So I'm gonna have to leave it there. So Bitcoin right now, I'm gonna leave it at just wait to see what can happen, okay? It looks like it's still trying to break above it, guys. It's on a tear right now where the daily could easily cross up and rally. The 4 day is ticking upwards now. So in the past 1, 2, 4 days, so the past 8 days, momentum has been building for Bitcoin, okay? So let's just see what you guys have to say. If there's any questions, I encourage you to ask. Thanks, Zafir. Excuse me, Zafir. I appreciate your comment, like always. TRX and Doge shorts, or I don't answer those kind of questions where like, hey, is it good to long? Hey, is it good to short? I'll gladly answer technical analysis related questions or anything related to skills or developing your skills for technical analysis or even looking at a specific coin. I just don't want to be kind of like that person that says, you know, short this coin, long that coin, because I'm really against buying sells and signals and just signals in general. So F, I like F. Like I like F, but I also don't like it, right? Sharding is in late 2013 or 2023. So that's going to be a forever. Not only that, did you guys know that Ethereum actually had one of the biggest drops? Ethereum led the way with an 82% drop for the top 20 cryptos. So that is pretty bearish in my opinion in terms of like risk to, like not risk to, but like I'm not holding it because it is one of the slowest moving coins right now. And it also dropped the most. And I don't hold that many of it because sharding is in late 2023 probably, right? So fundamentally, not the biggest fan of it right now. But of course, the 2 day is actually about to smash up. So I am holding Bitcoin. Oh, sorry, Ethereum. I'm holding, I think, 4 Ethereum in the public portfolio. And I think I'm holding 335 Ethereum. Yeah, 335 Ethereum in my wallet, right? So it's not a substantial amount in my opinion, but I'm still holding it. I've been holding 335 Ethereum since I think $380. So a pretty long time. So no, I sold mine. I sold a lot. I remember at 1,000, bought back in on the dip. So I think the average price is like 550 now. I gotta check it later. So Ethereum, I'm a big fan of it, just not this year. I think in a few years it's gonna do something. It's one of those coins where I just hold it and I forget it. And hey, if it's gonna break the all-time high later, I'm also not that big of a fan of it because over 10% of their major companies that have been on the Ethereum chain, they've actually moved away from it and went to Matic. So I've got more Matic than I've got Ethereum. Probably sitting at about $400,000 in Matic, which is a gigantic amount compared to my Ethereum, right? Well, it's similar actually, but not a little bit more Matic. So, and Matic is faster. More people are starting to adopt it, right? People are leaving Ethereum for Matic. So it's hard for me to be 100% committed to Ethereum right now, okay? Pulse chain? I don't even know what that is. Is it even on here? PLS? Is it even on CoinMarketCap? If it's not even on here, I don't think I give a shit about it. Why should I give a shit about a coin that's not even on here? No idea, man. Oh, I don't give a crap about speculating on coins. Okay, let me give you guys my advice from 7 years of crypto. When I first started out, I used to like put 100 here, 100 there into the next big thing. You know, I'm serious. I used to do that. Let's put $100 here and there into. Okay, let me know if I'm not live. Okay. It disconnected just for a second. So I used to buy a lot of these random coins and I would hold it for like 6 months and hope that they exploded, right? So Pulse Chain is just like any other coin to me where it's all speculation. There's some light paper or white paper that sounds fucking promising. You know, there's probably some developer team that's got huge ambitions. But keep in mind how many thousands of cryptos are launched every single day, how much of them are scams, how many of them just flat out fail, how many of them where the CEO, they're just creating that coin to make a quick fucking profit and then they're out, right? How many of these coins are actually out there that have a good foundation to grow, right? To actually have a promising project, has a good technology behind it, has a solid team that's going to make waves in the crypto industry. Not many of them. So why would I want to spend my time looking at a potential shit coin like Pulse Chain? It's just another coin out there that could be an absolute piece of shit that's not even worth my time to look at. I'd rather get into a coin when it's already been established, when it already has a good fundamental and a good reputation, because I want to leave the speculating out of crypto. I don't want to spend my time just guessing which coins are going to do well. I'm not that kind of person. But hey, if you're the kind of person that wants to go into crypto and be like, I'm going to put my money and diversify it into new coins that could potentially explode, kind of like penny stocks, then you're welcome to if that's you. But me, I just don't want to waste my time putting my energy and effort into something that may not come to fruition. That's why I'll stick to the big ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, Matic, right? It's like the really, really big coins that have already been established, that have a much higher chance of doing something and not failing. Does that make sense? So that's why I don't give a crap about a lot of these coins that are out right now. Yeah, Near's on my list as well, right? I carry a little bit of them, but I'm not the biggest fan right now. But every coin, guys, it doesn't matter like if you're asking about this coin or that coin right now. The simple fact stands. The fact is that Bitcoin has reached a potential bottom. Bitcoin may drop further. We don't know. all of these alts right now, aside from some like XRP that rallied, like, you know, like much harder than others, like ARPA that rallied more, like storage that rallied more, like ZIL that rallied a little bit more than other alts. Aside from that, everything right now is 100% dependent on Bitcoin. Okay? That's it. If Bitcoin ends up rallying, all of these coins are going to rally with it right now. Some coins are further ahead than others, okay? For example, on a 2-day, right, on a 2-day chart, the MACD has already crossed over for some coins like ARPA, like some coins like XRP, like some coins like Wi-Fi, like some coins like storage, like some coins like ZIL. But if you take a look at Bitcoin, it hasn't crossed over yet. So some coins are further into this potential bounce than other coins. So it doesn't matter what coin you're looking at, in my honest opinion, they're all equivalent. It's all dependent on what Bitcoin is doing right now. And our goal as a day trader is to look for that 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 coins that are going against Bitcoin or that are moving against Bitcoin and having volatility when Bitcoin's not doing anything. Those are the coins that we want to day trade. We don't want to trade the coins that's going sideways with Bitcoin right now. And let's be honest, Bitcoin is fairly sideways right now. Bitcoin has been in this stupid range of about 5% for 4 days now, right? Actually, this whole range right here, it's getting tighter and tighter. For 7 days, it's been ranging 10%. You just simply cannot trade Bitcoin and a lot of alts when BTC is doing that. You got to hunt for those coins that's going against BTC, like the ones that I mentioned here. And that's how you pick the ones for day trading. And it takes a lot of hunting to do. I don't know, man. I really don't know about BNB. And yeah, the SEC is definitely going after them right now, right? They're trying to define them, I think, if they're as commodities or not. Or if the BNB defined themselves as if BNB was defined as a commodity when it was first launched, right? Something like that. I'm not following that news too much, okay? So the Weekly Rsi, Hugh Tran, very great question. If you go back to the Weekly Rsi right now on, say, Poloniex, I'm going on Poloniex because they're one of the oldest exchanges. I think Bitstamp is even older. Yeah, Bitstamp is even older. Yeah, Bitstamp has been around since... Good for them, you know, good for them for being around since literally 2011. Like, you gotta really admire coin. Look at Bitcoin's volatility back then. In 2014, when Bitcoin went from did you guys know that? $60 to $1,200. Bitcoin did that. I wasn't around then, obviously, but it did that in about 2 months. But nobody even heard of Bitcoin then. It was not on mainstream news at all. Like, it was unheard of, right? I didn't hear about Bitcoin until really heard about it mainstream till 2017, right? Like mainstream on the news, I meant. So if you take a look at Bitcoin's Weekly RSI, this is actually since 2012, right, where it got on exchanges. That doesn't really count. This is actually the lowest low that we've ever seen in Bitcoin history on the Weekly RSI. So you guys are welcome to, if you want. You're like, I'm going to wait till 10K, 14K, 8K. Sure, wait all you want. But also know there's a massive risk that we may never hit it. That's why my personal philosophy is that I'm going to dollar cost average when I see massive fear in the market already and massive panic. Let's just look at Bitcoin Fear versus Greed Index. Let's look at that. Okay. So the Bitcoin's Fear versus Greed Index is now at 12. It's recovered. Last week it was at 9. And the lowest that I've ever seen it was at 6. When people are in extreme fear, when things are extremely oversold, when we're at a very low critical price point, that's where the weak hands get shaken out. And the richest people in the world are the ones that come in when the market is the most fearful. That's honestly how I did really well in 2017 and 18. I bought the Ethereum when it dipped even more after selling off at 350. I bought OmiziGo, IOTA, XRP, and I bought Bitcoin between 8,000 to even 3,000 in 2017. 2018, before the bounce on December the 17th of 2018. Let me show you guys what I'm referring to. I remember these dates very well. I remember on February the 6th of 2018, 2017 or 2018, I bought here too. I bought right here, guys. Let me show you. This was an important date because I caught it. February the 6th, right here. Oh, this is on the weekly, but trust me, that's February the 6th. And then here, December the 17th, is where the gigantic rally began. And I was accumulating here, didn't sell off any there really. And when this dip happened, oh man, did I ever buy. Because the only thing I thought to myself was that, hey, $4,000 is a 400% return, 500% return. So you can make your choice if you want to wait for Bitcoin to drop further, but know that you may never catch it. That's why dollar cost averaging is extremely, extremely important. Yes, I did say that on a 4-hour time frame, right? You're right about that, Tom. Here we got a MACD crossover, right? Definitely the momentum shows that's going down, but hey, it's not really going down as much as we thought. Sometimes the momentum definitely does indicate that it's going down, but here it may just simply cross right back over, right? Just kind of like on the 3-hour. Here it indicated the momentum I showed earlier was going upwards, but it just crossed right back down. So we have to give this a few more days for this to come to fruition. Good question. How do we calculate the short positions? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Well, just calculate short positions, that's fairly, like, pretty basic stuff, I guess. Like, if you short at $1,000, right, one coin of something at $1,000, and you buy it back at $900, then you make $100 profit. I guess that's pretty basic stuff. The best way to learn how to calculate short positions and profit is to simply just short it and use the Binance tool in there that's a calculator, right? That's what I would recommend. So I think I'm going to leave it here for now. Oh yeah, Mad Sniper. I'm buying Matic all the time. It's one of my favorite projects. Literally my favorite project right now. I think that coin is going to do some pretty crazy numbers in 2-3 years. Absolutely. I'm absolutely micro buying. Like, I'm buying, you know, $500 every few days here, $500 there, because that $500 on Matic, if it goes to the all-time high, you guys, again, and this is even before factoring, everything is cheap right now. If you look at everything on the weekly, look how low it is, right? It's so low that you got a chance already. If you keep waiting, like, I'm not giving you financial advice, but if you keep waiting for markets to turn around for confirmation, a lot of people just don't catch it, you know? I don't think we're at the bottom yet, Ryan, either, but you just never know, right? With these markets, it's better to react than to predict, in my opinion. And I follow the philosophy of a day trader. React and then predict, right? That's how it usually is. So I'm not advising you guys to buy right now. I'm just talking about facts of us being at an extremely low point. You're right, Mass Sniper. DCA is absolutely the key because timing the bottom is literally impossible. So many people spend time trying to catch a bottom and think that their luck is going to win, that they just miss the bull market. And you don't want to be one of those people. Trust me. You got to ask yourself seriously, how many times have I missed the bull market already? Don't be one of those people again, right? So I'm going to leave it here because it's been really long already, 44 minutes. I got to go have breakfast and help my lady out around the house. And today, it seems like we're going to be sitting here and just watching the market do something that may never happen. So, slow day again so far. Let's see what happens. There's always time. So stay positive, stay in the game. If you enjoyed the video, give me a like, hit the notification button, and definitely subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow for another live stream. Have a great day, and thank you very much for joining me. Bye now.